This is Ashley's Corner, and it is fight night. I want to remind you tonight to go over to the liquor spot every every Saturday, which is today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, to check out the ladies on Boxing and Relationship Talk. All right, let's just get into the video, shall we? Shalln't we? Okay, this is my fight breakdown. Now, what I would like to see from Errol Spence first, I'm gonna start with Earl. Earl has to be smart the entire fight, not just the beginning of the rounds, not just the first 4 rounds of the fight. The entire fight, he has to be smart. Okay, he has to be defensive. The first half of the fight, especially the first 4 or 5 rounds. I'm not saying be only defensive, but watch out for the things that Danny like doing, like throwing those hooks, because that's the only thing he really knocked anybody out with is hooks, not straights and none of that. None of that. Especially, I mean, he hasn't really knocked out nobody at the top of the welterweight division anyway. Most of them has been 140 pounders, but he still need to watch out. You know what I'm saying? But Errol Spence always keeps one hand up. He always have a replacement when he throws a left. He has his right hand up. He always got the earmuffs up. But he needs to keep doing that in the first half of the fight and use feints. The reason why Sean Porter did get hit flush with that left hook about 3 or 4 times. It did nothing to Sean Porter. He hit Keith Thurman with it. It did nothing to Keith Thurman. I think Errol Spence is durable enough that it shouldn't do anything to him. But this is all we will find out tonight. But Sean Porter, the way that he used feint our fight messed up Danny's timing. And everybody, like, he does do a lot of lunging at you, but he does a lot of feints, a lot of jerking motion. And if Errol Spence can throw some feints in between jabs or right before he set up a combo, he can catch Danny Garcia trying to throw that no look hook, and counter it and probably knock him silly, like, for real. I think using feints will be the key to this fight for Errol Spence, for real. Like, he needs to punch at different speeds also. Like, have the jab sometimes be quick, sometimes be slow. And throw the jab anywhere. Throw it at his collarbone, at his chin, his forehead. Throw it at his shoulder. And continued use of the jab, landing it in different spots, like I said. But him continually using that jab and throwing that right hand in Danny's face is going to give him something to think about. And we already know he always sits there in the pocket anyways. I think Danny's going to be looking to throw that left hook whenever Errol Spence starts to throw his left hand. I think that's when Danny's going to try to time it and throw that left hook. But just like I said, if I see that, I'm more sure Derek James and Errol Spence is going to be very aware. I have nothing but faith in the crew. Now, even if Earl outboxes Danny and make it a boring fight, it shouldn't even matter because of all the fans and the media and the fighters having all this doubt about him. If Earl is back to being Earl after the accident, off and all of that stuff, and healing and injury and scar tissue and da 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 da, it's like, it shouldn't even matter. A win is a win, right? But I mean, for real, I honestly think that EJ will be very active during this fight. I believe Earl Spence's footwork and his defensive skills can keep Danny missing the entire fight. And the more you miss, the more tired you're gonna get. After EJ's offensive onslaught that he's going to put on Danny, I think Earl should switch it up and turn it up a gear. After Danny gets a little tired from Spence's body work and missing big. When he gets a little tired, Earl Spence should turn it up. Should crank it up a notch, crank the speed up, crank the punch output up, You know what I'm saying? I don't think Errol Spence should give Danny what he wants. I don't think he should fight him in his fight. Um, I think he should do exactly what he said. I think he should punish this man, and that doesn't necessarily mean stand in front of Danny and fight him in a phone booth. That means to use educated movement and beat the brakes off Danny until he folds, falls, or quits, or you know what I'm saying, gets knocked out or whatever. I heard people saying that they think if the fight gets real bad, they see Angel throwing in the towel. I don't see that because Angel seems like he likes this shit more than Danny. Angel Garcia seems like he loves this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about like he feels as though and I'm more sure Danny knows that this is probably the last time he's gonna get a title shot at 147 pounds. Him and his father probably know that and probably feeling the pressure. He ain't gonna throw in that towel. He gonna give Danny all the chances in the world to sit there and get his face beaten until he wins that fight. They're going to try to get it all the way to the 12th round just to argue the fact that they won after the fact. I don't think he's going to throw in no towel. But when it comes to Danny, Danny doesn't have good defense, okay? And Danny does stand stationary when he punches, period. He sits down on all of that shit. Danny cannot cut off the ring, but Danny does have good power. All right. And Danny does have good time. The only thing I have to say about my man Nate Campbell fought Danny Garcia on late notice. He said all he did was basically use the jab, and people say he kind of beat Danny Garcia's ass. And he also said Danny's power is not all of that. Even Sean Porter, I believe when this fight was announced or about to happen, Sean Porter said that yeah, he does have time and he does have power, but his power ain't all of that. And if you know what you're doing, you can negate the timing. And it's true. It's facts. Like besides Adrian Granados and besides Reels, who is he knocked out that's at 147? Now, Bam Bam, hands down, Reels was he shouldn't even took that fight. Now, when it comes to Adrian Granados, I remember watching that fight. Adrian, he tried to sit there and fight his fight. He tried to fight Danny Garcia's fight like he can hit hard, like he got a tough chin or something. Like this shit was stupid, yo. And he just sat there in mid range for Danny Garcia to pick him up, pick him apart. My personal opinion, Danny Garcia cannot fight on the inside. And if you fight him on the outside, saying that Errol Spence has a 3.5 reach advantage on him, I believe Errol's going to win this fight hands down. He can't lose. All right. 12-round decision win, or it's going to be a late stoppage in my man Errol Spence's favor. Okay. And I have Earl probably dropping Danny Garcia. He could probably stop Danny Garcia, but I definitely have him winning if it goes to decision. No split either. Unanimous decision. Always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.